back at it again with another ceiling fan install here in the living room. This time we're going industrial again. In this box is a Gold Line, a little 36-inch one. And I am super excited for this install. I think this is going to look fantastic. I don't know how it's going to work. I have used one of these before and I was pretty disappointed by it. But it was in a small room on a low ceiling. Now we're in a big room on a high ceiling. It's very possible that these things are like street lights and, you know, don't really work that great until they're very high up. I bought 3 of these back in the day. I have no idea why. Bought triplets of a lot of ceiling fans. And now I have a reason to own that many of them. So we will absolutely be installing 3 of these in here at some point. In fact, that might even be the first triple install. I have a ton of nostalgia to these fans, not the 36-inch ones in particular, but the 56-inch ones. There was a grocery store that we used to go to back in the 2000s called Big Y. It's a chain that operates in the area. There's one near here. There's a couple others I've been to. They all have fans. They all have 6 ceiling fans. Fortunately, the one near me has all the original Gold Line still. The other one that we used to go to does not. Those were old. I mean, I remember they were pretty old back in the 2000s. Now they're archaic. Those had the, you know, huge wide blades, good sized motors. Some of them had bearing noise. Again, this is back in the 2000s. I wouldn't be surprised if those were 80s era units. But I remember those vividly. Because going to the grocery store, you know, wasn't my favorite thing to do as a child, but I sure did enjoy looking at the fans. And I just remembered these. I remember seeing the logo on the canopy, this EnviroFan logo. And I remember the big, wide, curved blades. And these round canopies. And the motor was pointed in the middle. Which I think this 56-inch ones are still like that to this day. This one is model 136F divided by C, 0.4 amps, 48 watts, impedance protected, extra heavy duty industrial ceiling fan, and it's dated 2019 February. So we're going to put this up there and see how this works. And this is actually a good use case for this because it does run 24/7 in here. It's continuous duty in the winter time. I need to get the mounting adapter. I have a bunch of mounting adapters to convert an electrical box over to the J-hook mount. These are EnviroFan adapters, which I ordered a bunch of them and then I lost them all, so I ordered a bunch more and now I just have a ton of them, which is fine. This is what they look like. I'm sure you can see it in this dark lighting because the bulb is burnt out and I still am procrastinating to replace it. See, if we could just change the bulb like normal and not have to make a whole video out of it and throw the bulb at the wall and then make a mess and whatever, I would just change it, but you know, I've got to make a big production out of it. This is what it looks like. And this is a pretty heavy duty apparatus. Highly recommend these. Very good, simple, quality product. It's like 10 or 12 bucks. Money well spent to do the install safely. And it just kind of goes on here like this. And then you can convert it to electrical box. Now this is reversible, but it's kind of worthless because these, well, I guess it's not worthless. If you turn the blades around, it's not worthless, but in terms of having like a reversing switch and it readily available to be reversed, it moves no air in reverse because of the way the blades are. Yeah, these are curved blades, they really are only going to move air this way. They're not going to move air like this. It's not aerodynamically correct. But these blades are much wider than I remember. And they have pretty decent pitch. I wonder if we're going to find this works a lot better. Maybe it was, you know, not in a big enough space. I don't know. Alright, so let's get this turned off. This is going in the bedroom next. Curious to see how it's going to work in there. And that will kind of complete our series on this. We saw it in the big room. We'll see it in a normal size room. And yeah, I think it's safe to say this is a fantastic product. Highly recommend it. 10 out of 10 as far as I'm concerned. Now it is kind of cold today and extremely windy, so I'm gonna turn this. Did you hear a bell? Ding! I'm gonna turn this up like this in hopes that maybe this will kind of keep the heat circulating around the room. I don't think it will, but at least now I feel like I tried to solve the problem. See it starting to spin backwards? That's all the heat. That's fan forced. It blows out here. And then by the time... The Airstream is actually pretty powerful out of this thing. I put a bigger fan in it. And it starts to... The air starts to rise right around here. And it just goes right up into the fan. And that's why I run it on forwards, because it kind of combats it going up to the ceiling before it even gets there. It works pretty good. Now this is going to be a very short term. I just want to test it for my own curiosity. I want to see how it works. I want to see what it looks like. Don't have a good control for this. I only have a 3-speed on the wall. It's not going to give us a nice good low. Not going to give us good variance. I want the crest in here for Christmas time, so this will be switched out in a couple days. However, after Christmas, like not after the decorations, but just after Christmas Day, I might put the big one in here, and I'll do the ghetto thing with the wall control again, because I want to see how that works in here. Hey, this fan really exceeded my expectations, and the motor's not even that hot. It's you know, warm, but nothing unreasonable. Especially considering it's just pushing pure heat in this installation. Yeah, this is a really cool fan. This might come back in here someday. Certainly 3 of them could. And conveniently enough, I can just order 3 and it's not a problem. Well, that's kind of peculiar. I don't know why it's like static stuck to the motor. That's a little odd. It's not the strangest thing I've seen today, but it's definitely unusual. I think I'll wait until tomorrow morning to do the install in the bedroom because the lighting in there is not really conducive to recording. Nor is it intended to be. It's a bedroom. It's meant to be pleasant, not blaring bright for taking videos. All right, now we'll rearrange the ladder so that I can get to either side like this. It's pretty convenient to do it this way. I'm going to keep the long bit on. I think that's the better selection. This is the wrong size bit. I noticed that I was going to keep the long one, but just use this one because it fits the screws. Whoa, that was not good. That was almost potentially catastrophic. Sounds like a stinking bell. Ding. Great. I'll have to convert that back to the stock down rod. And we'll show it in the bedroom with and without the light. It's easy enough to tack it on afterwards. It's getting hot up there. Starting to sweat already. Maybe if I put this like this. See if that makes any kind of a difference. I suppose in theory, this should work like the ceiling fan on reverse, which is kind of a waste of the heat in this room, but I don't want the camera to overheat. That's really what I'm concerned about. I can deal with it. That's too loud. I don't want the camera to overheat up there, because that will happen. I just had a small panic. I said, oh my gosh, I didn't put the microphone on. I'm just not using that second one for this video. I have done that before. I have filmed things and left the microphone on the table, which is pretty bad. Need this light wire either. just barely hanging on there. That's fine. Doesn't matter. I can tell the camera's getting really hot. This is not good. I have to keep the stove up high because it's still wind freak show today. And I think it's going to be for the next couple of days. I didn't bring up a regular... That's dumb. I'll just have to keep using this. These are really good quality units. Got the nice rubber gaskets on the rod. You know, good thick metal on this canopy. It's just a really good, cast motor. Everything about this is pretty correct still. It's rare to see products like this nowadays. Okay, so as far as the wiring goes, the red is the reverse winding, not the light. So we are just going to ignore the reverse winding. I don't know what happens if you connect them both. I'm guessing it's just a wash and it doesn't do anything. Now, unlike the Dayton, this does call for a 10-foot ground clearance. It probably just barely makes that, because I think this is an 11-something foot ceiling. So this install might be passable by code. I'm not really sure. If it's not, it just barely doesn't make it. This is often a problem where the canopy doesn't go up high enough. I don't know why that's the case, but that's happened almost every time I've tried to install this. It's not a big deal. It's probably not even noticeable from down below, but I can certainly tell up here it is not the way it's supposed to be. All right, this, I'll angle like that for now. Not sure where the most visible. Actually, no, it might be most visible this way. Walking in from the other room. All right, now I gotta get a good thumbnail here. People seem to like the thumbnail with just the motor. Okay, there's our thumbnail. No, it's not clickbait. It's exactly what the video is. There's no lies and no deception on this channel. We don't condone the lies and deception on this channel. Or the channel. You know, I should really just move the ladder back a little bit so that it's easier to deal with. Perfect, that was probably too much. We can make do with it. Oh, this is common only. That's not helpful then. I can't believe how hot it gets up here without this fan on. Really hope the camera doesn't overheat. I'm kind of enjoying it because it's been freezing cold in the house all day today, but the camera is not going to share the same opinion. The microphone should be fine. I've never had a problem with those overheating. The screws thread in real nice. No issues there. That sounded a little funny. That thing is due for a clean and service. That also runs pretty much continuous through the winter. That's been a good fan. I've never had a problem with it. Hopefully we're not changing that pattern. I feel like this is going to look better higher up because that's how I always remember seeing these fans. But with the Dayton 56, I thought it looked better down below. The Dayton 36, I don't think we ever tried up high. But now after seeing how much I liked the Beacon Hill up high, I wonder if I'm going to like this. I might. We're going to find out very soon. Well, I'm going to find out. You're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait in suspense until, I guess I'll show the video of it tomorrow. I spoke too soon about the screws threading in properly. This one is not. It's threading in very stiff. Well, we'll just get this one with the screwdriver. It's not cross-threaded. I can turn it by hand. It's just very difficult. And there it goes. It cleared out. Yep, there it says install fan so the blade is at least 10 feet above the floor. It's probably close to that. Might be just under. I mean, there's no way you're gonna get injured on this. Realistically, you cannot anywhere near reach this. You know, this is much more reasonable than when I installed it in the computer room at the old location. That was on an 8-foot ceiling. And the only reason why the Dayton gets away with it is because of those rolled edged blades. Though, I mean, those are still gonna really do some damage if you collide with them. Just compress the lock washers and then we are done. This driver is actually a touch large for this task. Okay, we're good. Is that down all the way? Yep. Yeah, from down below, the gap in the canopy is almost not even noticeable. Well, that was a quick episode. At least it went by pretty quick. How long did it take? Only 31 minutes. Not bad. Tune back in tomorrow to see this in more detail.